Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So in this video we'll understand how to implement SCD type 2 in Snowflake. So we'll be taking a very simple approach of implementing SCD type 2. So first I'll go through the store procedure which I'll be using to implement the SCD type 2. So basically in this store procedure I have taken two merge statement to implement the SCD type 2. Okay, so you may be asking why two merge statement? Because the first merge statement, if you see here in the step 1, what I am doing, I am updating the record, right? If you understand the basic of implementing SCD type 2, it is like if you have a new record, then you have to insert that record. If the same record gets updated, then you have to update, you have to maintain two records, the one record which is the previous version, and the new record which will hold the new update that happened to that particular ID, for example, right? So if you see in the first merge statement, I have a target table, right? So generally we have dimension tables which acts as a target table. So I have a target table known as dim table. So how I'll be doing the merge statement using the source table, right? So the condition will be where the target.id equal to source.id and the target current flag, right? So if you know the basic, basically when you implement SCD type to any particular table, so we basically keep two things up to date. The one thing is current, which is a boolean value that may be true or false, and the second thing is the end date, right? So basically when the new record gets updated, then the old record end date becomes the current date or current date -1. Here I have taken current date -1, and the new record, the current date will be any future date, right? So that is how we'll be doing the update statement, right? So here when the match happen, then what we'll do when it is matched, then we'll be basically checking along with this match, we have to check other values, right? So here I'll show you the source table and the target table. So basically I have three columns in my source table. One is ID, second is name, and the third is attribute value, right? So basically I'll be using the ID column to do the comparison between source and target. The name and attribute value, which I'll be checking if there is any change with respect to this ID, right? So that is what I am doing here. So I'll be matching based on the ID and along with the current each current flag. What I'll check if there is any source change, that is target.name is not equal to source.name, this particular column. Similarly I'll check target.attribute is not equal to source.attribute. Then what I'll do, I'll update that record, right? Target.endDate equal to current date -1 and is current flag equal to false, right? So in the second merge statement, what I'll be basically doing, right? So first merge statement will basically use to update my existing record if there is a new. The second merge statement is used to insert the new record that which comes with the table, right? So here I'll be using the second merge statement, right? Basically what I'll be taking the ID name source, and I'll be assigning this current date as start date, right? And the end date will be some future date, right? And true, which is the default value of each current, right? So this is how I'll be doing the insert statement. So how I'll do now, target.id, same like in the ID column I'll be doing the matching and each current equal to true, right? When matched, right? So when not matched, basically first thing is when there is a match I'll be updating, and the second case when there is a not match I'll be basically inserting the values, right? So here I'll be taking ID name attribute and whatever the default value that I have given in my source query, right? That I'll be inserting in the target, right? So let's go back to my Snowflake UI and we'll implement that specific logic, right? So first what I'll do, I'll create a temporary database and a temporary schema in the Snowflake, right? So I'll execute all these three statements, right? If I refresh, I have a temp DB, right? So temp DB, I have a temp schema as well, right? So basically currently I am using temp DB.temp schema, right? So first I'll create these both tables. One is my source table and second one is my target, right? So both the source and target tables are created. If I refresh, see dim table is my target table and source table is the source table, right? So what I'll do, I'll insert some value into the source table, right? So here I'll insert some values, right? If I try to see what is there in my source table, right? So these are the values. Now let's try to see what is there in my dim table, right? So as of now, you see there is no value, right? So what I'll do, I'll take this store procedure, I'll execute here, right? So my store procedure is created. Now once again I'll just show you how currently there is nothing in my target table, that is my dim table, right? Now what I'll do, I'll call this store procedure. Now the first statement, as there is no record present in the dim table, so what will happen in the first call to this store procedure will happen, insert will basically happen, right? So if I execute this store procedure, now if I check to my dimension table, see whatever the existing record that is present in my source table, all those records came to my target. And also if you check these two columns is current and end date. So end date has all the value into the future date and current flag is basically true, right? Now let's do one experiment here. What I'll do, I'll update my source table, right? So this is the update statement I have. So basically if you see currently Bob has attribute analyst, right? What I'll do, I'll update it to architect, right? Now my source table, if you see the Bob has architect attribute currently, right? Now did I call the store procedure? No. Okay, let's call my store procedure. Now I call the store procedure and check my dimension table. Now you see, now Bob currently in this table has two records, right? One is the previously present, that is Bob as analyst. So what happens, since I run my store procedure, what happened to that record? It gets indexed to current date -1 and the current flag becomes false, and the new record which is with the attribute architect inserted with the end date as some future date and current equal to true, right? So similarly to, if I want to check some insert, I think we already did that, but let me check this once again. So if I check my source now has 4 records with David as the new record. In my dimension as of now, since I have not executed the store procedure, currently there are 4 no record of David being present. Now if I executed it once again, you see, let me check the dimension table. Now David also came, right? So I hope this tutorial helps you to implement SCD type 2 in your Snowflake. This is a very short and informative tutorial. I hope this helps you to implement SCD type 2 in your Snowflake. What I'll do, whatever the query I am using currently, I'll keep it in my description of this video.